Welcome to another edition of Straight Shooting Sports Talk. And I'm your host, Dujane Bland, and we're doing a quick Saturday show for you today. As yesterday had some computer problems and still having those problems, but we're slowly getting them worked out. And just wanted to go into this Sunday's games. This is the Sunday that really starts to kick off the teams who are fighting for a playoff run. This is where it starts to get going, right? Right before Thanksgiving. There's going to be a lot of great games, a lot of good games. We started off with the Thursday night matchup. That turned out to be a better matchup than anticipated and has been over the last few Thursday night football games. As the Saints take the loss there to the Carolina Panthers. Both teams needed a win. No one worse than the Carolina Panthers, though. Will they win the division? Who knows? It just depends on how consistent Atlanta can stay and whether they can continue on the roll that they have been, or will they do what they did last year and start to spiral out of control. Well, that's going to remain to be seen before we get into that and the meat and potatoes of this season. But we're going to take a look at some of the matchups coming up on Sunday. And first and foremost, we're going to look at the Minnesota Vikings 5-4 taking on the 4-1 Arizona Cardinals. Look, I like the Minnesota Vikings. Their defense has proven to be formidable in the first 5 games of the year. They've had some 4 straight losses here. None of it is really all on the defense. They haven't been able to offensively get any rhythm, and we know that they don't have much of a running game. I do like the Cardinals on defense. What they bring to the table, they have been porous at times. But offensively, they are very balanced. They like to run the football. They haven't been very consistent, though, in being able to close out games. But I think the Cardinals can feast on a team that is spiraling out of control. Good thing is the Minnesota Vikings will be at home. But I'm going to take the Cardinals to upset the Vikings again, and the Vikings will find themselves at 5-5 and still reeling out of control in that division. Then we have the 2-7 Bears taking on New York Giants. I'm going to go with the Giants here. I think it's for various reasons. Giants are at home first off. Second of all, the Bears are just the Bears. Not very good football team. Not very consistent football team. And sometimes they can find themselves in games early and then out of them in late. And Eli is starting to get this thing on a roll a little bit. Doing what the Giants always do. And I think the Giants will get the win over the Chicago Bears in that football game. And next you have the Tennessee Titans and the Indianapolis Colts. Titans are 5-5. Working very hard and looking very good. Mariota playing very good football, delivering the ball in stellar fashion, being very careful with the football. And we know what the Indianapolis Colts have been all season long. Not a team that's terrible, but not a team that is very good either. I like the Titans. They're a little bit more solid, have it together on both sides of the ball. I like the Titans in that football game. Next, you have Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City 7-2, and we've talked about them week after week after week. Kansas City is just a team that brings their lunch pails to work and grinds. It's not spectacular. It's not anything over the top. No fanfare. Just go in, just like regular old laborers and getting the job done. Putting in the work and getting it done. And I think they do the same thing against Tampa Bay. All cylinders are clicking here with Kansas City. They play defense very well. Contain your running game. They play very well in the secondary. And really, against a team that really hasn't figured out a solid identity on offense, they look hot at times. And it's not really all on Jameis Winston, but there's not a level of consistency on that offense with Tampa Bay. And I think this Kansas City Chiefs team is just that much better than Tampa Bay. And I like the Chiefs to win at home there against the Buccaneers. Next, you have the 3-5-1 Cincinnati Bengals and the 4-5 Buffalo Bills. Look, Buffalo has looked better than Cincinnati. Cincinnati can get you here and there if you're not careful. They still have A.J. Green. Vontaze Burfict is back, and he's laying the wood on people, man. I don't know if you didn't see that game last week, but guys really laying down some hits on people coming across the middle. I like the dual threat with Tyrod Taylor and Shady McCoy. That combination has been very well this year. Have guys stepping up in the wide receiver core. Woods, they're doing it in various ways, not any specific receiver. And then they have Percy Harvin back, so they still have that ability to have that deep threat as well. They seem to be a better, more put together team, although they are what they are, led by Rex Ryan. But Cincinnati just hasn't looked good at all with Andy Dalton. And they just seem to not be able to pull it together and be able to get the points needed to win. I like Buffalo in this game. I think Buffalo is on a roll. They have, like I said, with all the weapons they have and that dual threat ability, with Tyrod possibly running the football, his escapability out of the pocket, I think that makes a huge difference in this game and will be the deciding factor in them winning the football game. Next, you have the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. There's really not much to say here. I really feel sorry for Cleveland's fans all over the world here. But, hey, they have a lot to be excited about with the talent that is there. Problem is, you haven't had a consistent quarterback all season long. And I think that plays a huge role in this game. Steelers, more experienced. Still a little bit ticked off that they lost to the Dallas Cowboys, and they'll be looking to take it out on someone. And unfortunately, the Browns are that punching bag. Steelers all the way. Now we have the Ravens and Dallas Cowboys, and this is an interesting game. When you look at the Ravens are a physical football team. Up front on their defense, their front seven, they like to get after you. And that's what this Dallas offensive line likes to do. They like to be physical at the point of attack. They like to bust you up, open up those holes for Ezekiel Elliott to blaze through. And he's a physical runner as well. And I think this is an opportunity where we could find that the Cowboys could possibly meet their match. Now, they are in Dallas, which is very helpful. But we know that the Ravens take on their coach Harbaugh's mentality and his persona. And I think physicality versus physicality is going to be nice. We know the Dallas Cowboys are missing some pieces over there on the defensive side of the ball, mainly in the secondary. And I like Steve Smith Sr. to get off a little bit on this Cowboys team. With that being said, though, I'm still taking the Dallas Cowboys here. I think we saw it last week when we thought that the Pittsburgh Steelers had the game won. Many thought that was the case, but left too much time on the clock, and the Dak attack managed to go down, and I thought it was going to be a field goal to win, but Zeke had something to say about that and got that touchdown to seal the victory, and I'm going to take the Cowboys to get the victory this Sunday against the Ravens and be 9-1 as they meet their arch rival on Thanksgiving Thursday against the Washington Redskins. The Jacksonville Jaguars 2-7 and very disappointing against a up-and-coming 5-4 Detroit Lions team. And I'm going to tell you, I like the Lions here. Matthew Stafford closing games out. He looks a lot better under this offensive scheme without Megatron. He's distributing the ball to more people, and he looks solid. He looks very solid, and we know that Blake Bortles has not lived up to expectations. Offense is very inconsistent, really putting the defense out and not giving them the opportunity to really be and showcase the talent that they have over there, because they're spending a lot of time out on the field. I don't expect anything different this weekend. Detroit gets the win over the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now we have Miami and the Los Angeles Rams. I'm going to take the Dolphins here. Goff making his first start. That's great for Rams fans. They're going to be at home, so it'll be packed, so everybody wants to see Jared Goff and how he's going to do. Really don't know how he's going to do just because of the tape that's out there. There's not much, and nothing was really all that good. So apparently Jeff Fisher feels that he's ready after all these weeks of working hard and getting in the books and understanding the offense. So we're going to see how well he does against this Miami Dolphins team, which is another team that is on the up and up, fighting really hard. At 5-4, they look like they want to make a run and try to secure a wild card spot in the playoffs. But I'm going to take the Dolphins. Now, the New England Patriots take on the 49ers. It's kind of like the Browns game. 49ers have a lot of things going on over there. They just don't have the talent they used to. And the Patriots are probably a little bit salty after losing to the Seahawks in Foxborough. And I think this is just going to be another beatdown where the Patriots are going to be using the 49ers as a punching bag. Patriots win, and they win big, probably by 14, maybe 20 points here. Now, another game that's a game you don't want to miss. It's the Philadelphia Eagles and the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle, 6-2. We talked about it earlier in the week of how they could be a team that is on the up and up and maybe the team to beat in the NFC. Defense is working and hitting on all cylinders, and now you're starting to get the real Russell Wilson. They're actually starting to find a little bit of a combination of a running game, which is helping, and along with Russell being able to break contain in the pocket. Carson Wentz started the season off 5-0, and then they've been on a 4-game skid, not all on his back, as they have been a part of several very close games. Some decided, by the offense, and some decided by the defense. They're going to Seattle, and everybody knows how hard it is to travel. It is an afternoon game. I like what Philadelphia is doing a lot. I don't think Philadelphia wins this game, though. I'm going to take the Seahawks to beat the Eagles in a close matchup, probably a 24-21, a 24-17 type of ball game. It's going to be a good one. It won't be a blowout, but I'm going to take the Seahawks in that football game. And the Sunday nighter. Packers, Redskins and Kirk Cousins looking like they're starting to get on a roll. Kirk looks like he's getting in the groove that he was in after the 2015 Tampa Bay game where he started to get on that roll. And the Packers have not looked like the Packers all season long. Aaron Rodgers doesn't look like Aaron, and I know they want to put it all on Rodgers, but let's be real here. Missing pieces on defense. I know everybody likes to talk about Clay Matthews being missing. I really don't. I think Clay is like super overrated guy. A decent player, but not a great player. And I don't think he's a difference maker to that degree. That's just my opinion, though. Offensively, receivers just aren't getting separation and man-to-man coverage. I mean, all you have to do is look at the tape. The tape doesn't lie. It's not all on Aaron. And with that running game not being consistent enough, you're not keeping the defense honest. So they're totally okay with you running the football and giving up a few yards there when they can stop you in the passing game because your receivers can't get separation consistently to give Aaron Rodgers targets to throw to. We know how this Washington's defense has been a bend but don't break type of defense. They do give up their share of yards, but they do stiffen in the red zone, making it very difficult for offenses to score touchdowns. And the fact that the Green Bay Packers have had a hard time scoring, especially early in games, this is going to be a very good matchup. Last week, Washington should have blown out the Minnesota Vikings. They were up on them early and fast and made that game close. And I think Washington fans alike know how much the Washington Redskins love to keep games close and keep the cardiac situation at high. And I expect this one to be a close one as well. But I see Washington winning this football game at home. They know what's at stake. They have to keep pace with the New York Giants, with the Dallas Cowboys. Expect two playoff teams coming out of this division. As we talked about before, one of the better divisions, if not the second best division in the NFL. This team's ready. This team's ready offensively. Kirk leading them very well. I like Washington in this matchup. And, man, you talking about an awesome divisional race in the NFC East. It's just going to keep getting better. And the Redskins take on the Dallas Cowboys on Thanksgiving Day. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be incredible. Potential 6-3-1 team against a potential 9-1 team. Both teams knowing what's at stake. We're going to have an excellent matchup on that afternoon Thursday night Thanksgiving Day game. Well, that's all, folks. Just a real quick show breaking down Sunday's games. Please kick back, relax. I know a lot of you this week will be very busy with family, so kick back, enjoy, take a little relaxation, and enjoy these football games. They're going to be really good. Lots of good games, lots of good games out there. Lots at stake, ladies and gentlemen. That's where you start getting down to the meat and potatoes of this season. Teams fighting for playoff spots, and it's just going to keep getting better week after week as we get closer and closer to the NFL playoffs. Again, you want to get at me? It's at NotBland21 on Twitter. We'd love to talk shop with you there. If you want to submit questions there, that's great as well. If you don't do the Twitter thing, hit us up at straightshootingst@gmail.com. We'll be glad to get back with you and we'll be glad to share your questions, your thoughts on this show, and I'll give you my take on it. All right, guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy Sunday football. We'll get back at you on Monday.